Hey guys, and welcome to the very first episode of Fit for the Long Run. This is our new health channel. If you know us from the Long Run with Joel and Christy, then you know we've moved all of our health journey stuff over here to this channel. And if you don't know us as the Long Run with Joel and Christy, welcome to the channel. We have another channel that's called the Long Run with Joel and Christy, where we do frugal videos, grocery hauls, things of that sort. So if you're interested in that, head on over there. We'll put a link down in the description box so you can head over there and check out our content over there. We also have another channel. It's called Adventures on the Long Run, which is where we do all of our travel stuff. And we'll put that link down there as well if you'd like to see us as we're out and about doing things to Disney parks, at just road trips and things like that. Got a few videos over there that you can go and check out as well. Now, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we are going to talk just quickly about our, where we are on our health journeys and stuff like that. But if you'd like a little more detail and stuff like that, we do have videos on the other channel, The Long Run, with Joel and Christy, where we went into detail about what brought us to where we are right now. And we will link those videos in the description. Please don't be too hard on us, because I edited those when I didn't really even know how to edit a video. So, okay.
So go check those out. I guess as far as me, it's been a 14-year journey so far, starting in 2010. I had Bell's palsy, was diagnosed with high blood pressure, all those kind of things. I weighed 215 pounds. Now I'm only 5'10", 5'11", and I'll have Christy put a picture up right here so you can see me.
Okay.
At that weight. The picture was about 4 months before I started running. I've been an athlete pretty much all my life, but just kind of let things go for a while there. And then I started running again in 2010. No particular goals, maybe just do a 5K. After I did the 5K, I wanted to do a half marathon. After the half marathon, I did my first marathon. And now 14 years later, I've run 10 marathons, 3 of them being Chicago Marathon, New York City Marathon, and the Boston Marathon. So I've done all of those, and my weight got down to as low as 165 pounds. So I dropped about 50 pounds, and I've kept it off over those 14 years. So I'm now fluctuating anywhere between 165 and 170, depending on where I am in my training cycle, what I'm training for. So that's kind of where I'm at, and it's kind of the things we've got going on.
Okay. Well, I am not the success story that he is, but hopefully you will come along with us and learn with me. I started 30 years ago on very restrictive caloric diets, and also obsessive exercising, thinking that I was going to get myself back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. It would happen that I would lose some, and then it would start coming back, and it never, we could never figure out why that happens. And I've done a whole bunch of diets, and no matter what, and finally eventually even turned to wellness clinics to get them to give me the hot diet drug of the day, to hope that drug would fix the problem. Maybe that would fix whatever was broken. And it wouldn't. It would get me, there was one time I actually got all the way down to 118 pounds, and that was where they were like, okay, you really need to start adding some calories back and stuff, because you can't keep losing weight. And when I stopped taking the diet drug and started adding the food back, even though it was slowly, the weight came back. And so now I am on a journey of learning how to eat healthy, to give my body energy, eating protein, and not starving my body, and instead figuring out a way to eat in a healthy way, and combine that with strength training in a way that hopefully will build my endurance and my strength and my energy, and that in turn may or may not, but hopefully it will help me lose a little weight, and I will feel better because of it, because I'll have done it in a better way. Because when I used to do all those restrictions and caloric restrictions and over exercising, I was always tired. Never had any energy for anything else, and I always felt I was like missing out on life because I didn't have the energy to do anything. So that is my goal, is to do this in the right way this time. And so we do set goals annually and every month to help. One thing that I will say, as far as me, is we don't talk about weights. We don't talk about scales, not weights. We don't talk about scales or weight on here. So we won't be getting into that. Instead, we will talk about what our goals are and how we accomplish them. And sometimes we may take you on some exciting things that we may be doing that is health related, and we'll get into some of that in a minute.
All right. And so we do this every month. We do a goals recap for our health goals, and we look at health holistically. And it's physical health, spiritual health, mental health, all of those things. We set goals in that way to make sure that we're staying on track with those things in our lives, those aspects in our lives that we want to keep track of. Mm-hmm. And so we do this every month, and we'll have this video every month where we'll recap our health goals as we go out through the year. And so we'll go ahead and start with mine, which we normally do.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm quite a bit of a runner, if you haven't gathered that yet. But I have set a goal to do a 20-minute 5K this year. I came close last year, but and then I did a race back last week, and I didn't do it. I ran it in 21:09 because I hadn't really trained for it to do the speed work. So I just kind of pulled back a little bit, and just I did finish first in my age group and 12th overall. So I thought that was still pretty good for not having trained for quite a few weeks. So so I'm still working on that. There's 5K coming up July the 4th, which I don't normally think I could do a PR in July in Orlando, but you never know. But I'm really shooting for the turkey trot that I run in Oviedo every year. That I've run for the last this will be I think the 5th year that I've run that. So 4th year, 5th year. This is the 5th year that I've run that. So looking forward to that coming up. I'm also
I lose track.
Yeah, I'm also looking to do a PR for a half marathon, which will be anything under 1 hour and 36 minutes. Looking to do that. I haven't done that yet. I did a half marathon back in January, but didn't come close. I did 1 hour and 39 minutes, so I didn't even really come close to that this time. I love sodas, Cokes and Dr. Peppers specifically, so I'm trying to not overdo it on those. So I have no soda days that I'm trying to do every month. And for this month, for the goal for last month, which was for April, I was supposed to do 13. And I did do 13. So I was proud of that.
Woohoo.
So I'll move that up one this month for May, and I'm going to go for 14 this time. So and so far I'm on a pretty good streak so far. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm on a pretty good streak so far. So looking forward to that. And then core workouts, I want to do those 3 times a week, and it's now May and I haven't even started those yet. So maybe this month's the month. We'll see.
I told him he needs to make a schedule, like a plan of of when he's going to fit that in his schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And so also for intellectual health, I'm reading 12 books this year. We do one a month. One is a growth self-help kind of book, and then the next month will be what we call trash reading, which is just reading for fun. Last month I was supposed to have read a book called Divine Strike which is a fiction book by Kelly Hodge and is that it? Pratt? What's his name? Scott Pratt. But I didn't read it. Trying to read that this month, and also do my growth book, which is called Love and Work by Love Plus Work by Marcus Buckingham. So I'm trying to get both of those books done this month, but so far not off to a very good start. So it's kind of where I'm at this month, where I'm at last month. So still working on those goals, and believe me, we all struggle with goals from time to time. So,
Yes.
We're no different than that either. So.
Well, we'll talk about it at the end of the video. Be sure to stay for the closing of this video, and you're gonna hear what is our thought process as far as goals and stuff that we try to accomplish, and what happens if we don't make it. So stay to the end. All right, so now on to my goals. The first one I've kind of alluded to already, and that is that I'm going to do protein first. At every meal, the goal is for me to eat protein before I eat any other foods. I can have veggies and fruit at the same time, but you're basically holding back, carbs that would come from like breads and pastas or sugar, things like that, until after you've eaten that stuff. You still feel like you can eat a little something else after you have your protein and your veggies and fruit, then yeah, fine. But you want to focus on the protein first. All right, so as far as that goes, in April, I'm getting better at it. I'm getting more into the flow of it. I've been building and making small changes there because, just learning what's the best ways to get in some protein, what's the best, so that you're not getting a lot of calories, so you want to find mixes of things like having some eggs and chicken and stuff like that, but also things like maybe some protein powders or chia seeds and other things that also are healthy for you, but aren't as calorically dense. So that's been the challenge, just learning that, and also when we have to go somewhere, knowing the best protein sources. That has been a little challenging, but this month I did better than last month, or in April I did better than I did in March. As far as exercise goes, I've been working on doing strength training 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then we have a Peloton, and my goal is to either do Peloton or go for a walk on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I put Peloton/walk on that because on Tuesdays we go to the theme parks almost every week, not every week, but almost every week. And on those days, I get so much walking in Disney World that I don't really feel like I have to also do Peloton. Because a lot of times we come home and I've walked 18 to 20,000 steps easy. Yeah. Like easy. Like sometimes it's way past that. Yep. So on those days, it's not that. So really I'm doing Peloton on Thursday and Saturday. But I digress. I did really good on the lifting weights. I'm like, it is becoming a routine, and I've even I'm starting to add more weights to some of the reps. So, I'm happy with that I'm getting there and building on that. I am by no means a heavy lifter at any where the imagination cannot, I'm not even close. The most that I've been doing is 9-pound weights, so that would be lifting 18 pounds. So, but for me, that's a lot. I haven't been doing that kind of lifting in a long time. We had a goal to only eat out breakfast once a week, except for the week that we have our goal meeting where we talk about this stuff in a restaurant once a month. If you don't have to go into a restaurant to have a goal meeting, but If you have someone that you can sit down with and they encourage you and you encourage them, then that helps you stay on track. So that's why we do that. Both with our finances and with our health, we talk about those goals at that meeting. But so other than that one meeting, the other weeks we only have breakfast out in a restaurant once a week. And then the other one is because we do go to the parks often. I've started taking things like tuna packets and some almonds and things like that, so that I have some things to eat in the park that's, you know, a little healthier than theme park fare. So I also have the goal of the 12 books per year, just like Joel does. In April, I was behind because the book that I was reading was 549 pages and I did not finish it all in March. So I finished that in April, plus I read what we call trash reading book, and that one was called Ripcord, and it was the third book in that book that he mentioned. He was reading the second book, or he didn't read it, but he's going to. I was reading the third one in that series, so it's the same author, Scott Pratt and Kelly Hodge. And for May, I've already started reading it, and it's called Lift Like a Girl. And as I already mentioned, I'm working on improving and getting stronger as far as lifting weights. And so that's why my personal growth books have been focused on, books on how to lift stronger and healthier, and how to eat a more nutritious based meal so that you can lift heavier. So that's why I'm reading that, and it's going pretty good. I'm already well over like 100 pages into that book. So
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, and that is all of them.
All right. So if you have any goals that you set for yourself, drop those in the comments below. We'd love to hear those. And as we always say, it's never too late to start setting goals for yourself, whether you set them weekly or monthly or yearly, however you want to do that. We love to hear those. Drop us those comments as well down there.
We would love to build a community on
That's
here of people who like to eat healthy and exercise and do things that are good for their health and their energy levels. And if that's you, we'd love to have you subscribe so that you can come along with us and share your journeys with us in the comments. We'd love to know. That's right.
Well, that's going to do it today for the first episode of Fit for the Long Run. We're Joel and Chrissy. And don't forget, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.
I think that's going to do it today for Fit for the Long Run. We're Joel and Chrissy. Don't forget, life's the...
You're so close.
And I think that's going to do it today for the first episode of Fit for the Long Run. We're Joel and Chrissy. And don't forget...
It's a long run. Give yourself a look.
Well, that's going to do it today for the first episode of Fit for the Long Run. We're Joel and Chrissy. And don't forget, it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye. You almost forgot, didn't you?
Yep.